Welcome to the Paycheck Project. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.
All right, let's talk about the F.I.R.E. movement. You know, financial independence, retire early, it's this huge idea, right? But the picture most of us have in our heads, well, it turns out that's not even close to the whole story. So when you hear retire early, what pops into your head? Probably someone saving like 80% of their paycheck, eating nothing but rice and beans, and then poof, they're done with work at 35. I mean, for most of us, that just sounds impossible, right? But what if the whole idea is actually way bigger and a lot more flexible than that?
And that's the thing. It has changed. FIRE has totally evolved. It's not just one single super strict path anymore. It's more like a whole spectrum of different strategies. And maybe the most important part, the goal isn't just about ditching your job. It's about getting more control over your life. And you can start right now.
Okay, let's get into it. First things first, we gotta look beyond the hype. We need to see how this thing grew to fit all sorts of different people, with totally different lifestyles and goals.
So, at its core, the main idea has always been pretty straightforward. You save like crazy, you invest aggressively, and you do that until you get to a point where your investments can pay for your life. Simple, right? The end game is that you can stop trading your time for money way sooner than your parents did.
But here's where things got really interesting. It stopped being this one-size-fits-all kind of plan. You know, as more people got into it, it started to branch out. New ways of doing things popped up that made the whole idea of financial independence feel a lot more doable, a lot more personal. It didn't matter if you were making a ton of money or just an average salary.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around the whole movement, I think the best way is to start at the ends. Let's check out the two original polar opposite versions of FIRE.
So you've got these two completely different mindsets. On one side, you have lean FIRE. That's the one asking, what's the absolute minimum I need to live on to be free? Then, on the complete other side, you've got fat FIRE, which is asking, how can I keep my awesome lifestyle just without the job?
Folks doing lean FIRE, they are absolutely laser-focused on one thing, buying back their time. They do this by slashing their expenses to the bone. We're talking living on like 40 grand a year or even less. And because they need less, their target savings number is smaller, which makes it the fastest way to punch the clock for the last time. But here's the catch. This isn't some temporary savings sprint. It's a lifelong commitment to being extremely frugal. And then you've got the complete opposite, fat FIRE. This is for the high flyers, the people who want to have their cake and eat it too. They want the early retirement, sure, but they also want to keep living a pretty lavish lifestyle. We're talking about planning to spend 100 grand a year, maybe more. Think fancy vacations, expensive hobbies, the works. The challenge? Well, you pretty much need a massive income and a savings rate that feels almost superhuman to pull it off.
And just look at the difference in what you need to save. It's huge. For that lean lifestyle, you might be aiming for $1 million, but for fat FIRE, you're talking $2.5 million, maybe even more. And it's exactly that giant gap that made everyone realize, whoa, there has to be something in the middle.
And that's the thing. For most of us, neither of those extremes really fits. And that realization is what led to all these cool new hybrid approaches. Models that are way more balanced and, frankly, way more achievable.
And this, for me, is where the whole FIRE thing gets really interesting. This is where it becomes useful for so many more people. Because the movement started asking different questions. Questions like, hey, what if the goal isn't to just stop working altogether? What if it's about working differently?
And that brings us to something called barista FIRE. Think of it like semi-retirement. The idea is you save up just enough to walk away from your main, high-stress career. Then you pick up a low-key, part-time job, yeah, like the classic barista gig, that covers your bills and, this is a big one, your health insurance. And all the while, your main retirement fund, it just keeps growing in the background, totally untouched. The whole point is to slash your stress levels like today.
Then there's another really cool one, Coast FIRE. This one is all about getting the hard part done early. You go all in on saving and investing at the start of your career until you hit your coast number. Once you hit that magic number, you can literally stop saving for retirement, for good. Compound interest becomes your best friend and does all the heavy lifting from there, getting your money ready for you by age 65. And the benefit is just incredible. You get to coast for decades with all that extra cash flow every month to maybe work less, switch to a dream job, or just have more fun.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. When you look at all these different flavors of FIRE, you start to see something, right? It's not really about one single destination called retirement anymore.
It's more like a whole new toolkit for how you think about your money and, honestly, your entire life.
And when you lay them all out side by side like this, you can really see that shift in thinking. The main goal changes, you know? It goes from, I want to maximize my free time with lean F.I.R.E. to, I just need to reduce my stress with barista F.I.R.E. and then all the way to, I want to free up my cash now with Coast F.I.R.E. Each one is a different tool for a different job, solving a different problem in your life. And that right there, that's the big idea. The whole movement has changed. It's less about finding an escape hatch from your career and way more about getting the power to intentionally design the life you actually want to live.
Exactly. So in these newer versions, financial independence isn't the finish line. It's the tool. It's the lever you build so you can start making real, meaningful changes in your life right away. Maybe that means finally leaving a job you hate, or starting that business you've been dreaming about, or even just taking the pressure off. It's all about making your life better starting now.
Which really gets to the heart of it. At the end of the day, the real prize here, the ultimate currency of this whole movement, it's not money, it's autonomy. It's the freedom to be in the driver's seat of your own life, to control your time, your choices, everything. So let's wrap this up with a question for you. The real question isn't, can I retire early? It's, what would I change right now if I had more financial freedom? What would you do if you had more autonomy? That's the powerful idea that's really driving the FIRE movement today.